Hello, I'm Yu. In this video, you'll get to know the idea and realities of being a full-time creator. I work as a full-time creator in Japan. My activities span across various fields, but my main focus is on photography and videography. I'm active on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Although I put the most effort into YouTube, I can't say I've achieved success there yet. I have 190,000 subscribers on Instagram, 85,000 on TikTok, and 24,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you all for your continuous support. In this video, I will share the wonders and challenges of working as a full-time creator. I'll also talk about how to generate income and secure work opportunities. Additionally, I provide some tips for Instagram and TikTok. Though, I must admit I haven't achieved remarkable results to be an expert in sharing tips. Anyway, for those of you who aspire to become full-time creators or have an interest in creative work, I want to honestly share some truths that people don't normally talk about. So please watch the video until the end. First of all, many people find the idea of being a full-time creator very attractive, considering it creative and cool. In reality, I also feel fortunate to be able to work as a full-time creator. So, how can one become a full-time creator? I believe there are primarily three conditions that need to be met. The first condition is the determination to bet on your own future and wholeheartedly become a full-time creator. In Japan, it's common for many students to attend universities or vocational schools and then work for companies. This is a societal norm in Japan, and I think it's similar worldwide. In my case, it was somewhat unconventional. Despite gaining admission to Waseda University, one of Japan's top-level universities, I chose to become a full-time creator. This is an exceedingly rare decision in Japan, and I believe I may be the only one. In fact, I faced opposition from many people, and even my mother was very worried. However, what's crucial is your determination and how much you aspire to your dreams. I believe that if you truly want to pursue something, you should be honest with yourself. Without taking risks, there can be neither success nor failure. So, I think it's essential to take the first step towards your dreams. The second condition is having the funds to purchase filming equipment and editing software. In reality, I've invested a substantial amount of money in filming equipment. For instance, a camera is essential for shooting. Moreover, for indoor shoots, lighting equipment is necessary for proper illumination. To deliver clear audio to viewers, a microphone is also required, tripods are necessary, and depending on the situation, a gimbal for stabilization might be needed. I'll actually show you the filming equipment I have. The main camera I'm currently using is a Sony α7R5. I also have many other cameras. I won't show you all my filming equipment as it will make this quite long, but I do have a lot of filming gear. For instance, if you want to share something on YouTube, the level of quality you pursue may vary, but sound quality is crucial. Therefore, many creators prioritize microphones even when shooting with smartphones. In fact, when shooting vlogs outdoors where there is often ample natural light, many people use smartphones like the iPhone, and I personally find it more than sufficient. However, if you want to infuse your work with your unique personality and style, you may need other equipment like different cameras, lighting, tripods, etc. Yet, many influencers and YouTubers start with just 4 essential items: a smartphone, lighting, microphone, and tripod. Of course, you'll need a computer for editing as well. Still, cameras can be quite expensive, so starting with a smartphone is a great choice. Also, editing software can be costly. I frequently use Adobe Premiere Pro and After Effects. I've even edited on an iPad before using the LumaFusion app. I pay around $330 per year for Adobe products. Recently, I purchased Isotope RX10 standard software for about $330 to deliver clear audio to you. This software can reduce and remove noise from audio. While I'm speaking English now, and I'm not very good at it with less than perfect pronunciation, I saw that if there were noise in the audio, it might be stressful for you, so I bought this software just 2 days ago. Normally, you might not need to be so particular about audio quality. Lately, there are also free editing software options like CapCut. Assuming you have a smartphone with not too expensive microphone, tripod, and lighting, you can create high-quality videos for about $660. In other words, it depends on how far you want to go in terms of quality. The third aspect is motivation. In most cases, when creators start new accounts and post their videos or photos, hardly anyone sees them. To give you some realistic numbers, when posting a reel on Instagram, you might get 100 views, 400 views for TikTok video, and over 30 views for YouTube video. Many people have high expectations for their first video as content creators. Shooting takes hours, editing even longer. Paying attention to detail can mean days of editing. Speaking in front of the camera can be very embarrassing and takes courage. Many people are not used to being on camera. Yet, despite all these challenges, this is the harsh reality many creators face. For example, let's take YouTube monetization as a case in point. Previously, you needed 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of total watch time over the past year to qualify for monetization. This requirement has been eased this year. Now, requiring 500 subscribers, 3,000 hours of watch time over the past year, or 3 million views on short videos in the past 90 days. Here, I focus on 500 subscribers and 3,000 hours of watch time. Typically, a 10-minute video is considered to have a long watch time if it's watched for 5 minutes or more, so achieving a 50% audience retention rate is challenging. Usually, it's set to be below 40%. If you post a 10-minute video with an average retention rate of 40%, your watch time is 4 minutes, which means you'll get a total of 30 views in 2 hours. Even if you put a lot of effort into shooting, editing, and posting a video, it may still be a long journey to reach monetization. Of course, if your content is of high quality, interesting, and shareable, you may ride the algorithm wave, reach the monetization requirements with a single video, and gain many subscribers. However, realistically, YouTubers who achieve this are rare. I believe it took me about half a year to reach the monetization requirements. But if you don't give up, you can definitely achieve it. In fact, my friend Ruri Ohama has over 1 million subscribers now. Another friend, Onomap, has over 400,000 subscribers. They both say that if you continue to post interesting and high quality content, YouTube will eventually recognize you. I've heard this to be true as well. The most important thing when posting videos on YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok is undoubtedly motivation. Some videos get views, while others don't. Some people leave warm comments, while others write hurtful ones. As a Japanese person, I've noticed that comments from Japanese viewers tend to be quite negative, although that's not the case for everyone. I usually post videos around 9 or 10 at night, and the editing takes over 48 hours. So when I finish posting, I'm physically exhausted and lie down in bed. And when I wake up in the morning and see warm comments, it truly motivates me. What's important to me is to avoid exposing myself to too much negative information to maintain my motivation. And even if I do come across it, I try not to dwell on it. In reality, it's very challenging, but it's crucial. Humans are emotional beings, and we tend to be more affected by negative things than positive ones. However, if we focus only on the negative, we will stagnate. So, it's essential to celebrate small success and focus on these little achievements, like being happy that a video that usually gets 1,500 views reached 3,000 views. I believe that by focusing on these small successes and building upon them, you can find success as a creator. With the determination to become a full-time creator, the fun to invest in equipment and editing software, and the motivation to keep going, you can take the first step towards becoming a full-time creator, even though there will be many challenges along the way. Next, let's talk about the skills required for creators. Honestly, the skill required for creators can vary significantly from person to person. Some may excel in advanced editing using software like After Effects, while others may focus solely on speaking in front of the camera. There are those who need knowledge of 3D modeling tools like Blender, and others who are primarily involved in post-production work after filming. It depends on the field you are aiming for. But recently, many people have started posting videos on platforms like Instagram and TikTok. This means that the concept of being a creator has become more accessible to a wider audience. In this growing community of creators, I believe that the most essential skill demanded is video editing. Many creators are skilled at connecting clips from their recorded videos, adding sound effects, captions, inserting music, and performing such simple yet captivating edits. As a result, the level of video editing required is not necessarily very high, and it depends on how far you want to push the quality of your content. If you are a typical creator without advanced skills, you should be able to acquire a similar level of editing skill within a week or so. Next, there are 3 things that I find wonderful about working as a full-time creator. Firstly, is the ability to express one's own personality through their creations. Often, we draw inspiration from artists we admire, our favorite films, books, and more. But creating something creative of your own can be incredibly enjoyable. I'm sure many of you have experienced the joy of creating something and receiving appreciation for it. Secondly, is the ability to immerse oneself in the work. Typically, when working a regular job, there may be moments when going to the office feels burdensome or you can't wait to leave work. However, creative work lacks such feelings for me. Of course, it varies from person to person. But personally, I find a fascination in being able to sit in front of my desk for extended period and immerse myself in the work. Thirdly, it's limitless opportunity to learn. Creative work in the realm of visual requires not only camera work, but also personal or editing techniques, which means there's a lot to learn. The more you learn, the closer you can get to realizing the vision you have for your work. What ties these 3 aspects together is the sheer joy they bring. Whether it's the process of creating, the ability to lose track of time in your work, or the infinite learning opportunities, it's all incredibly enjoyable. Next, let's discuss the challenges of working as a full-time creator. First and foremost, it becomes nearly impossible to distinguish between your private life and work, because you'll always have to carry a camera around, and the weekend, Saturdays, and Sundays alike are absolute musts for shooting and editing. As a result, where there might be moments when you are not actively working, the need to engage with something related to your work or hone your skills never truly leaves your consciousness. Secondly, there's no guarantee that the content you create will always succeed. Creators rely on receiving recognition from people. No matter how many followers or subscribers you have, every piece of content you create might not necessarily be well received. In some cases, it might even be disliked by your viewers. This holds true for commissioned work from companies as well. If you fail to gain recognition from your audience, you may not receive more work from that company. However, in essence, it's desire for both creators and companies to build long-term relationships. This is because the content created by creators typically thrives over the long term, and a similar perspective should be held by those in charge of a company's marketing efforts. Many marketing professionals understand this and aim to foster a good relationship with creators. Sadly, the income aspect can be unstable, especially in the beginning. Creators vary, with some receiving work from companies and others relying solely on ad revenue from platforms like YouTube. These factors contribute to the unpredictable nature of income for full-time creators. Of course, as a creator, If you continue your activities and achieve your certain level of success, you can eventually receive plenty of work opportunities. However, in the beginning, it's challenging to get your work recognized by the world, making it difficult to secure a job from companies. As a result, the income aspect is more unstable compared to working for a regular company. Nevertheless, on the flip side, with hard work and dedication, there's also the potential to achieve greater financial stability than you would in a traditional job. In the end, it all depends on your own efforts. Next, let's talk about tips on Instagram and TikTok. As you may already know, to success on Instagram, you need to post real videos. There are various types of content you can create, such as sharing your daily life, language learning tips, showcasing scenery, conducting interviews, and more. However, I believe that the most crucial factor is the viewer retention rate. While the quantity of shares is important, videos with a high viewer retention rate tend to get shared more frequently. This principle also applies to TikTok. Additionally, it's essential to capture the viewer's attention within the first 2 or 3 seconds on your video. Another key point is to remain patient and keep posting. Even if your first 10 videos don't receive many views, after posting 50 videos, you'll have plenty of opportunity to refine your quality and create content that resonates with a broader audience. However, the most critical aspect is to continue having fun. If you don't enjoy creating content, you won't be able to sustain your efforts. So make sure to create content that you genuinely enjoy and are passionate about. Next, let's discuss how creators can generate revenue. Creators generate income primarily through advertising revenue and partnerships with companies. Recently, platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube have expanded their monetization mechanisms, making it feasible for newcomers to start earning revenue quickly. The easiest platform to start earning revenue on, in my opinion, is TikTok. TikTok boasts a large user base, and videos tend to go viral more easily. Additionally, gaining followers on TikTok can happen rapidly. Hence, I recommend starting with TikTok if you are new to content creation. However, what's crucial for creators is to utilize multiple social media platforms. Using Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube in particular is highly advisable. Instagram is often considered the most challenging platform to monetize. Consequently, many seemingly glamorous accounts, similar to celebrity lifestyles, may not be as they appear, with some fabricating their status. Personally, I prefer showcasing my authentic self rather than dressing up. In a world filled with misinformation, authenticity is essential. Earning job offers from companies becomes more likely when your videos goes viral and gains millions of views on any social media platform. While the specific followers count may vary, having at least 10,000 followers is recommended. Achieving 10,000 followers on Instagram or TikTok is not as challenging as it may seem, especially when your videos go viral, resulting in rapid follower growth. Consistent effort will inevitably lead to opportunities to collaborate with companies. However, it's crucial to consider what type of content you want to share and what genuinely interests and excites you, as this is your life, after all. In this video, I will talk to you all about working as a full-time creator. Did you feel the gap between idealism and reality? As a full-time creator myself, I realized there is still a lot of room for growth, and I'll continue to learn and put in continuous effort to achieve my dreams. I believe that all of you have dreams and goals beyond becoming creators. It's important to believe in your dreams and keep moving forward. Self-belief is crucial. Thank you for watching this video. I would be really happy if you could subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up, and leave a comment. Let's meet again in the next video.